Hey everybody, it's Mr. Delusive with the weekly Devblog. Today I'm going through what I did this week, and it's pretty much all the ships. I've changed the font and I added the engine trails. So if you saw that small video I put up a few days ago with the engine trails demo, I'll just be talking about it a bit more in detail and just showing off some of the new ships a bit and this talking about this font. So I'll start with the font anyway. It's just a custom font I got from a font site where you get a font and they give you a free license to use for commercial. So free commercial use. I've got the license linked, put in the files with the game, and I don't know if I had to credit it. They didn't say I had to, but I've credited it anyway. Because what's a good credit screen without credits? And so the only issue at the moment with the font is alignment stuff. So as you can see, the text is a bit higher because all the alignments were based off the default font that I was using. I think it's Arial or whatever. So like the size differences of the font comes into play as well. You can see here it when you add it kind of. So what I was doing with that is every time you press the key or you add a letter, that moves forward, I think 40 pixels or something, so that will have to be adjusted. So like I'm pretty happy with this font. There was two I wanted that I looked at and thought they looked pretty cool, and I decided to go with this one. The other one didn't, I don't think it came out too well in the game. So and now with the engine trails, you can see I need to adjust some of them, and that's because I already had engine points coded in, because I was using for the warp, that star image you see when you warp away, and so I'm using that, and when I first wrote the engine points, I didn't consider the using them for engine trails. So you can see like that one will definitely move up. The same with that one. You'll see more in detail. A few of them need really to be moved. But like that one I've adjusted so to give it that smoother look. So with the engine trails anyway, so that I did over 2 days. One was I was up late doing everything, and then finished it in the next morning because I was really excited to do that one, because with that I removed the sprite sheet effect from the ships, and if you see here now, the ship no longer has its engine trail that you see on this screen, and that's because in the original sprite sheet effect of the ships, so there was two versions. There was this version of the ship, which was the large, and then the usual one you see, which is that's just the normal one, and all that was just this one sized down. So with the sprite sheet of this, I had that, and I had the engine trails all built into the ship image, and that would sprite sheet it to make it look animated. And so now I've removed the sprite sheets, and with that I've removed the engine trail, and also on that. So that's the ship image, that, and then based on the engine you have equipped, so this one's got an argon, it creates that engine trail. So if we go to the ship marker, I've left it displayed on this so you can see, and so I can see to fix the alignment so I don't have to keep going in and out of gameplay. So because that's got an argon equipped, it's got the blue trail. This one's got the chimera equipped. It's got the orange trail, and so with that system, with the system in place now, we can have like all sorts of engine trails, and I can add modifiers, which I want to do. Like I want to add custom modifiers to make like rainbow engine trails or long engine trails or something. So it'll add a whole bunch of customability to the game, and that's what I was really wanting. So yeah, like at the moment, there's still only two engines but that system's ready. Like there's all that code ready to go to make, like, it's easy to add new engines now, as easy as it is to make new guns. So and the alignment of the engine trails. So I'll go into that gameplay quickly, and then we'll come back into this screen. So the alignment works the same way as the guns. So it updates based on the angle. It recalculates the mount point on that. X equals cosine minus sine y, blah blah blah. I can't remember it exactly. And so that always will stay in alignment with the ship and the angle of the mouse pointer. So as well, with the enemies, the engine trails stay always on, but for your ship, it only goes on when if you can hear the mouse or the keyboard clicks. When I press it and it starts moving, it ups the alpha on that engine trail image, and then when it releases, it drops the alpha back to 0. So it gives that, the engine's working effect. The only thing I'm thinking is then to do the same effect with the sound. But I don't really want to have an engine sound, because it would make sense too, but I'm just worried it'll sound way too repetitive and droning. And anyway, so that's the engine trails, and then pretty much most of my work has gone into making more and more ships. And now without the sprite sheet on the ships, I can probably fit like 6 in a day, when I was usually doing like 4 a day. Because with all the time saved, it's probably cutting like an hour and a half per ship from the whole process. Because I reckon it was taking like, I don't know, 2 to 3 hours. No, it wouldn't be an hour and a half. So 2 to 3 hours, I'd say, it was taking to make a ship. And then now, so I could only fit really 4 a day based on how many hours a day I was doing. But now, without having to worry about the sprite sheet and making the engine trail and everything in the ship, it's like maybe 2 hours max. So it's like an hour and a half, 2 hours to do one ship now. Actually, it'd be closer to the hour and a half, because like Saturday, I think it was, I pumped out 6, and that was awesome, because it's like, So I don't know which ones I've showed off or whatever, but I still have to adjust the alignments, so I'm leaving that in on this. I think I already said. So these are all the Delsec. I've still got like probably 5 or 10 to go for Delsec, and then all the rest are all the other factions. And like that one definitely needs to be moved up. Once I add more engines, it'll look way better, I think. Chimera Tide comes with the 3 lathe to fit the Tide theme. I was considering naming it Tide Pod, but I'll probably get IP issues with that. There was some I got lazy, like you look at the Stingray and which one was it? Maybe I haven't shown it yet. So there was this Stingray and the Manta, those 2 I made. And then I started to make frigates. No, not frigates, cruisers. I thought, stuff it, I'll combine those 2 ships. And it's called the Manta Ray here. So it's just those 2 ships combined. I even wrote it like welding together those 2, because that's what Chimera do. They're cheap, innovative. When you got not much money, you got to innovate your your stuff. And then you got like the Pearl, and if you go down here, it's kind of the same design on the Poseidon. And that one, the Leviathan, however you say it, it's a space being that Chimera fused their technology on. And that one took me the longest to draw. If I go into the bigger one. So this one I tried to put as much detail as I could, like, but it didn't come out too well with the effect I put on the ships. Like that was supposed to be just, its flesh area here, and then the golden parts of the technology fused onto it. But I don't know, it looks alright. It's kind of its own unique design compared to all the other ships. And then you got like, where was it? That one as well, kind of tried to add a 3D effect. So yeah, kind of experimenting with some of the Chimera designs, but only the Chimera. Because, like they're pretty much the pirates of the game, so yeah. But that's most of the ships. Well, that's all of them that I've done. I don't think I added more Rainer. Yeah, it's just the same ones. If you haven't seen any of them. So yeah, I mean that's it. The only thing now for next week is to fix all the alignments of for the text. So like that there, see it's a bit higher. Same with maybe in here. Yeah, same issue as that. Create new screen. So just because the new font size difference. Same down here. And everything else I think is right. So next week is just doing that, making more ships. So if I can average 6 a day, it won't be too long till I finish. If I could finish within 2 weeks, that would be good. Because I mean, I really want to finish all the artwork, because that's what's taken the longest. If I didn't have to do any of the artwork, then I'd be way ahead if I was just doing all the coding. And like, I'm not that good at it. Like, I mean, I'm happy with the planets, but yeah, ships, just, and I guess with the engine trails, they look a bit better. But yeah, like, I'll leave it at that anyway. And yeah, the only other thing as well I did this week was I started setting up the Steam page. So I had to fill out all the paperwork and stuff, and waiting on them to verify that. And yeah, hopefully soon then I can upload this version. Well, probably next week's version when it's ready, which would probably be like Alpha 0.72. And then within hopefully a month I can set from Alpha to Beta. But I still have to do the construction bay, which is going to go into the repair bay area. So I'll go in here, probably like this side or something. And what was the other thing? There was another thing. Oh yeah, and the skill tree. So once I've got the code and something basic for all that, it'll probably go from Alpha to Beta. And then and that'll probably, yeah, after all the items are done, probably the market system's balanced, so there's things to test on that. And when it's in beta, can start proper testing based on what Steam, I mean, that's the Steam requirements anyway. It needs to be properly QA. It needs proper QA, I mean. And yeah, so I just want to follow all the proper processes and make these videos to show that, and hopefully, even if people are interested in watching these videos and wanting to see the process, then if they can stand my voice for this long, then awesome. But yeah, guys, I'll leave it at that. So hopefully see you next week.